Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. Today, I just want to acknowledge how crazy of a year we just had. I know we're not bringing in a new year and things like that, but we've had, at least personally, I can only speak for myself, really. But I know others out there that have had a really challenging year. And this has been one of the most stressful years of my life. And at the same time, the most amazing year of my life. Like amazing. One of the best. Other than when I first became a mom and welcomed welcome my daughter and welcome my son in and getting married. Like this has been a rock on year. But at the same time, one of the most challenging and stressful years of my life as well. Isn't that crazy how it can be both? We all have challenges. We really do. And not even just right now, just throughout life. I always thought it's like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if, we didn't have those? But then we kind of get bored. And then how would we actually really uncover who we really are? Life is about, moving through these challenges, and figuring out how strong we are on the outside. Like I have learned so much about myself in this past year, and it has been incredible. And actually just not even just this year, like throughout, I've always wanted to be a mom, and it looked all fun on the outside. And then when you become a mom, it's even more fun and awesome and magical and amazing, also thrown in with like the hardest job of your life. So it's just this magical world that we live in, right? Like struggles and challenges with like the most amazing things ever, all tied in one. My husband and I were having a conversation. Actually, we have this conversation a fair bit. I won't lie. We have it a lot. When things get a little overwhelming, we've moved out to the coast, and we left our family in Ontario. Now, we didn't see them often, and even right now, we wouldn't have been able to see them much. But we had support back there, and now we moved here where we had all intentions. We were going to get a babysitter and things, and build like a support network around here. Right now, it's very challenging to do so, because there's no gatherings and things like that. And so we have our unique challenges. And every so often, I'll hear somebody say they're bored, or see somebody bored, or like our kids have a really fun habit of saying, I'm bored, or this is boring. And my husband and I looked at each other and we're like, oh, I wish I could be bored. I really wish I could be bored again. Like we haven't been bored in years. However, I remember when I used to be bored, and all I could think about was having a family. At first, it would have been like being in a relationship that somebody loved me, and then having a family to share my life with. And now I'm like, to have time to myself and to actually have enough time that I'd be bored. Now, I have a lot of hobbies and things like that, so I don't know how long it would take me to be bored. But my husband and I, when we fall down this pattern, or not pattern, sorry, when we fall down like this train of thought, like, oh man, I remind myself that there'll come a day when I'll be bored again. And I know that there's, people out there that are having that, like, they're struggling with loneliness and boredom. So when I get overwhelmed because I can barely find minutes to my day, or my husband and I are sitting down going like, how are we going to make our schedules line up so we can both have time to ourselves and at the same time do the things we need to do, like work and things like that. We're like, when we get a little stressed out, I remind myself that I am surrounded by my loved ones. So, the grass is always greener on the other side. And it's amazing how I look back. I'm like, wow, if I only could have known how unbored I would be, years ago, maybe I would have embraced that loneliness a little bit more. But we don't know. We don't know until we get to the other side. And so it's not so much about getting to the other side. I know we talked last week about comparing. And that's when, like, it's just another aspect of it, right? When we see somebody else's life, the life we want, or the life we're like, oh, if only we had their life, life would be easier, or life wouldn't be as lonely, or life wouldn't be as stressful, or whatever it is that we're looking for, or we think we're looking for. And then we get there, and we might be missing the aspects that we didn't even realize we had to begin with. Embracing where we are and not focusing on what we don't have can really just bring back the joy in our life. Like, just really have us look at the things in our life. And it can even just be like where you are right now listening, as long as you're not driving, that is. It's just looking around and thinking of the things that you could be grateful for right now. And just start there. Because no one's life is perfect. No one's grass is greener than yours. It really isn't. It's our perspectives. We just think that life is perfect over there because we haven't experienced it yet. When we let go of that need to be the greener grass, per se, or we need to have something more in our lives, we can really release and enjoy, like really release that need, then we can really enjoy what's truly in front of us. I'm not saying you go out and get what you want to get, like your goals, and it's super important to have goals and things like that in my mind, but it's also important to embrace where you are right now. Embrace your surroundings and, do the best you can with where you are at this moment. So an example is, I've never really been a fan of winter and snow. And in fact, actually, my husband and I feel like we have the same feelings about this. And for a while there, like we'd be like, snow, or actually, for the most part, like when we lived in an apartment, it was not a big deal because you saw it's like, oh, we're not going outside and we didn't have to shovel it or we didn't have to do anything. We're like, oh, it's beautiful. But once we moved to a house and we had to shovel the sidewalk and things, we're like, oh, then we actually started focusing on the things we had to do because of it. And even before like moving and things like that, I'd always find that when I fell into the habit of not liking the snow, I'd go out into the snow and do something I did love, like skiing or tobogganing, skating, anything to get out there and embrace it. And it is so important. Now, did I ever lose sight of that goal of not ever moving somewhere where there might not be as much snow? No. I try to embrace it. And even with our kids, we really wanted to have that where we didn't want to poo-poo the snow for them. So we tried to embrace it the best we could and get out on the hills and things like that with them when we could. Because where we lived, it wasn't always snow. A lot of the time it was ice. So like sometimes it wasn't safe to do so. However, over the time, like I try to embrace it the best of my ability. And now I live somewhere where, when it snows, it's actually an event. It only lasts for maybe a day. Even today, I woke up and the mountains were covered in snow. So I'm not saying lose sight of your goals, but try your best to embrace where you are right now so you can have like the joy. It's really about how we feel. If we feel good, then we can do good. When we don't feel good, we can't put our best foot forward. So it's about embracing where you are and enjoying where you are. And then doing the little things that you can, moving forward towards them. Because my grass is not greener than yours. It's just different grass. Maybe in a different location. Maybe I have more flowers than you. No, I'm kidding. Our grass, it's not so much about whose grass is greener. Because when you get to where you're going, there's going to be something else that you might not like about it. You just got to enjoy where you are and keep embracing it and just, loving yourself where you are and loving where you are and making those steps forward to constantly improving your life. Because if you're not happy with where you are now, you'll never be happy. That's the truth. If you're not happy with where you are, you'll never be happy. It's embrace and learn and love where you are. And that doesn't mean you're not going to have bad days or good days. You'll probably have a lot of good days. But it's like when you're falling, and you're comparing, or not even comparing, because that was last week's episode. If you're thinking you'd rather be somewhere else or have somebody else's life, focus on the parts of your life that you do love. Move forward in those feelings so you can create the life that you really do want while loving the life you have right now. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. I am sending you so much love from the snowy mountains. Well, actually, I see the mountains. I'm not living in them. Anyways, I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now.